So as most of you know by now, this year's world champion was Paul McBeth. And I thought this was a perfect time to do a challenge that we've done in the past. And that's gonna be the Paul McBeth only challenge. Let's see if we can shoot as good as the GOAT out here today. All right, before we jump into the video here, I'm gonna show you all the discs that we have available to us here today during the Paul McBeth only challenge. All right, first up, we're gonna start with putters. And for my putting putters, I've been using the Crazy Tough Lunas lately. Really liking the feel out of these. Really enjoy the Crazy Tough plastic. Next up are gonna be my throwing putters. And the first one is gonna be a soft Luna. This thing has been my go-to approach disc for a long time now. Next up, my throwing putter off the tee. If I'm just looking for a very reliable, straight throwing putter, that's going to be my double stamp 2022 Tour Series Luna. And then for my approach disc, you really can't go wrong with this one. It's the Zone. So next up is going to be the mid-ranges. We're gonna have two available to us today. So first up is going to be my ESP Buzz. And next up, a disc I really haven't thrown all that much. It's just kind of been sitting in my bins that I have at home. It's gonna be a Prototype Malta. Next up, some of my favorite discs to throw are gonna be the fairway drivers. And today we're gonna have a pretty much brand new TI Undertaker. And then next up, this was given to me by one of my friends, Chris Griffin. He sent me this nice swirly ESP Onyx. And last but not least are going to be the distance drivers. We have quite a few of them, so let's jump into the distance drivers that we're gonna have. First up is my farthest throwing distance driver, and that's gonna be my Prototype Hades. Next up is a Zeus that I'm trying to work into the bag, just a regular stock ESP Zeus. And then I also put this one in the bag. I found this down in the bins that I have just laying around, and that's gonna be a Big Z Zeus. And then my go-to distance drivers, both of these are my go-tos right now for forehand. First up is my workhorse forehand driver, and that's gonna be a 4x Force. And then last but not least, one of the coolest looking discs in my bag, it's going to be an ESP Force dyed by Pastry Dyes. All right guys, well that is going to be all the discs that we're gonna have available to us here today during the Paul McBeth only challenge. Also stick around, I'm going to be giving away one of the discs that I'm using out here today. So make sure that you stick around, I'll give you more details throughout the video here, but let's jump into the first hole out here at Boone Woods. All right guys, super excited for the Paul McBeth only challenge here today. We're starting out at hole 1 at Boone Woods. This one's gonna be 421 feet to start. Gonna start with the 4x Force. That's looking really good. Oh yeah, that's gonna be in a great location down there. Should be able to get up and down for par from there. Well guys, thanks for tuning in here today out at Boone Woods for the Paul McBeth only challenge. I wanna give a huge shout out to Paul for taking down worlds this year, especially in the fashion that he did last year, coming up short to James Conrad, and then this year going into a playoff with Aaron Gossage. But let's take a look and see where this drive ended up, try and get up and down here to hit this par. I'm gonna take my 2022 Tour Series Luna, just throw this thing towards the basket. Get around that tree. Oh, dang. Hit the tree there. I thought it was gonna start hyzering out a lot sooner, but I have an interesting putt from there. All right, about a 15-footer. There we go. Nice way to start out the round, especially last time we were out here, took a bogey. We will take that on the first hole. All right, starting the round out with the par there. Usually we're taking a bogey on that one, so I'll take that all day. Moving on to hole 2 here. This one's still in the long pin location, 312 feet. We're gonna take the Onyx here. Gonna take the right side line, but we're gonna try this Onyx out and see what we can do. Well, that looks good. Keep going. If it gets a big skip, that looked like a really, really good line there. Let's go. I'm stoked on that drive. Yeah, really, really good drive here with this Onyx. Try and hit this birdie. Nice, let's go. What a putt. That's what Paul McBeth, otherwise known as the GOAT, would do. Let's move on to 3. Really nice birdie there on 2. So we're 1 down through the first 2 holes here. Moving on to hole 3. This is a difficult par 3, 347 feet. I think it plays a little bit longer. Fade. All right, there's a lot more wind out there than I actually thought. I think we're gonna be over there in the rough, but we'll have to take a look and see once we get over there. All right, yeah, just on the edge of the rough here, pitch out type of shot with this brand new Zone that I put in the bag. And this is actually the disc I'm gonna be giving away, so hopefully get this thing close to the basket. Okay, All right, we should have a putt from there. All right, got a little tester putt here. Should be able to convert. Nice, good par save there after ending up in the rough like that. Still one down, move on to hole 4. All right guys, really nice par save there after being in the rough on 3. We're moving on to hole 4 here now. This one's 319 feet. We're gonna take a disc that I don't typically throw a lot, really at all. This is gonna be a prototype Malta. So we're just gonna throw it off to the right side towards the building down there. Hopefully get past the trees and towards the basket, end up somewhere close, and let's get another birdie here. I gave it the height that it needed. Get around the tree. Oh, are you serious, dude? Are you serious? We hit the last branch that you could possibly hit. I missed the actual big part of the tree and hit a branch at the very end. We're just gonna have to convert on a big putt now. I don't know what we hit. I think we hit one of these. If we would have missed those, we definitely would have been really, really close. And on top of this, there's these poles here that you have to go around. So this is gonna be a really interesting jump putt. Yeah, I think we're gonna have to straddle. Go in. Oh my gosh. Unfortunate luck here on hole 4. Tree branch and then a good looking putt. Just hit the front of the basket there. Have to walk away with the par on this one. Been a great straddle putt for a birdie there. But walk away with the par. Still one down through 4 holes. On to 5. All right, didn't get very much luck there on 4, but we're moving on to hole 5 now, still one down. This one is 326 feet. This one plays super uphill. You probably can't tell from the camera, but I bet it plays every bit of like 350, 360. Gonna take my prototype Hades here, just try and get something out in the fairway there. Okay, yep, pretty much what I always do here on this hole. We'll just have it a short approach shot in from there. Yeah, decent drive for this hole. Like I said, I typically don't get very close here just because of how uphill it is. Gonna take the soft Luna here, and I'm gonna try and throw this thing in the basket. Go. Oh, just short. I have thrown it in on this basket once before, so I typically always try to go for it. Yeah, just a little short on that approach shot there. But either way, walk away with the par on 5, which is typically what we do unless we throw it in the basket like we have the one time. Still one down going into 6. All right guys, on to probably the hardest hole on this front 9 out here, and that's gonna be hole 6. This one is 384 feet, still tucked in that long pin location. You got the barbecue in front of it. Let's just try to get something down there, put ourselves in a good spot. All right guys, gonna throw an ESP Zeus here. I want something with a little less stability than my Forces. Hopefully miss all the trees up there. Go around the trees. That's in a decent spot. Up there, we missed all the trees, flexed it how I wanted to, so we should be able to get up and down from there. All right, ended up in a pretty decent spot here actually. Just got a nice little approach shot in from here. Go in the bucket. Oh my gosh, that just went over the top of the basket there. I thought that thing was going in. That would have been a sick birdie. All right, ended up not too far from the basket. Should be able to clean this one up for a par. Nice. I really thought we threw this thing in. That would have been really sick. Would have put us to 2 down, but we'll take it. Either way, still 1 down, moving on to hole 7 now. All right, still sitting at 1 down. We're moving on to hole 7 now of the Paul McBeth only challenge. This one's 415 feet. The only really bomber hole that we're gonna have out here today. So we're gonna take one of our distance drivers that we have, try and get something past those trees that you're seeing out there, out into the open, and give ourselves a look for a putt. So I'm gonna take this Big Z Zeus. Went straight for a little while, then had that stability that Big Z plastic typically has. Gonna be just past that tree on the right. Should have a pretty routine up and down shot from there. All right, yeah, not a bad drive here. Definitely would have liked a little bit more distance, but we'll have an approach shot in. Try and throw this thing in the bucket. Go in. Oh my gosh, that was so close. We've been so close on all the approach shots today, just going in. All right, I really thought that one was going in. We've had a lot of good approach shots here today. There we go. Another par, still one down. Moving on to 8, birdie opportunity here. All right, moving on to hole 8. This one's 269 feet, but we're gonna take the 2022 ESP Luna, kind of throw it out to the right side and just have it fade right towards the very end up on that mountain, walk away with the birdie here on 8. It's got the height. Does it have the distance? Start fading. Oh, just short of the mound. All right, that's gonna be an interesting looking putt from there. We're gonna have to do a lot of work for this birdie. All right, we're actually pretty close to the basket, but with this basket being up on that dirt mound like that, it's a pretty interesting putt, pretty difficult. So we're gonna have to work for this one a little bit. Nice, let's go. That's a big putt. That's a scary putt too. That's a big birdie. 2 down going into the last hole, let's go. All right guys, on to the final hole out here, the Paul McBeth Only Challenge at Boone Woods. This one is 346 feet. We're gonna take our ESP Zeus here, try and just get something up and over this hill and back up the other hill that's out there as well. This one goes out to Paulie McBeth. Threw that one on too much hyzer there. All right, gonna be well short of the basket. Should have just a simple approach in from there. Not the ideal drive that I wanted here. Put this thing on a little bit too much hyzer, but this will give us another opportunity to just try and throw one in the basket here. Let's try and throw this one in. Go in. Oh, hit that tree there, but we'll be able to pick up the par there on hole 9. All right, yeah, hit this tree. Thought this one was going in as well, but we'll walk away with the par there. End up 2 down on the round here, using only discs from the GOAT, from the world champion this year, Paul McBeth. Not a bad round. Well guys, that is going to wrap up the Paul McBeth Only Challenge out here today. Again, congratulations to Paul for winning the world championships this year. Like I said, I'm actually going to be doing a giveaway for one of the discs that I was throwing out here today, and that is going to be the 5-time Paul McBeth Z Zone. So if you want to enter the giveaway for this disc, all you have to do is make sure that you're subscribed to the channel here, and also leave me a comment down below letting me know what mold is your favorite that Paul has put out with Discraft. But if you guys did enjoy the video here today, make sure that you hit that like button as well. Thanks again, and we will see you in the next one.